Hi guys, my name is Trevor ILESLEY, bringing to the planet 3 letters and the truth, and it's called Be Me, as it is in being you. For far too long we've lived our lives as human beings. Human being was killing me, maybe it's killing you. The Be Me is bringing through a new idea of who we are as a race of beings. It's evolution, and to evolve on this planet we need to change the identity to who we are. For many years, let's say 45 years of my life, I thought I was a human being. Then spirituality started to happen. Then of course, I thought I was a spirit being. But when you put the two together, I discovered that there is a middle way, and it's called the Be Me way, which means you understand the material journey and you understand the spiritual journey. Now, today, I want to be speaking about awakening and why. What are the problems when you awaken? First stages is depression. You will go through a depression like you've never known before. Whoever thought that you would actually become depressed? I never thought I would become depressed. Never in my days would that have happened. I loved everything. Loved my job. I loved life. So I thought. So, in your awakening, you are going to go down, and you are not going to like who you are. And you wonder why. I say it like this. It's like a mask or a suit that you've been wearing all your life. Let's call it human being. You've been wearing that suit all your life, and then something inside of you doesn't like that identity anymore. And so therefore you start to go on this downward slide to the point you don't know who you are. And when you look at life, it doesn't look right. You don't feel right. You can't explain what it is that you're going through. People ask me, Trev, why do you do what you do? It's quite simple, really. The education that I went through trying to understand why was I going through this journey, there was no answers. I needed answers. And that's when I connected in with myself. Me and I became great friends. So I started to have a communication within myself, because when you look at yourself as you're going through depression, the communication between you and yourself is not very good. You will hate yourself and you will hate life. But worse still is the feeling that it brings. And trying to understand that feeling is awful. I remember I spent many years trying to explain how I felt. And there was many words that I used to explain the feeling, but none of them was making sense. So when I looked at the word depression and I questioned, was I depressed? I could say, yeah, I'm depressed. I'm not who I am. I'm not who I used to be. You know, I used to be funny, used to be alive, used to find life pretty good, really. But in the depression, it's telling you something. As I said, this is part of your awakening. I know it seems like it doesn't seem like that, but it is part of the pathway, because I can say that now because I got through. So here's the idea. You believe you're a human being. You go through depression, and so therefore you say, okay, I'm going through depression. So what's the answer to it? The answer that I discovered probably will shock many people, because it's the old suit of who you are, the illusion of who you are, the being that you thought that you were is going to disappear. Basically, it's going to die. Because in that dark night of the soul, in that depression, you feel like you're dying. I've never, ever experienced such pain within my body. I didn't even think it was possible. Every part of my body hurt. I think they call that fibromyalgia. There's no cure for that neither. Fibromyalgia for me was a place that I don't even think that word existed at that particular time, or it wasn't known to the world about fibromyalgia. But my body hurt. if I touched my arm, it just felt like I'd just been hit with a hammer. I couldn't believe it. I felt I'd been run over by a truck. It hurt. Every part of my body hurt. You can't sleep. Hence, insomnia. There's no sleeping pattern there. Everything's going wrong. Your mind is going to drive you absolutely crazy to the point that you can't think of anything more. And all you want your mind to do is shut the fuck up. But you can't. It's a dreadful, dreadful place. And there's no way to explain it. But then I found an explanation. And the reason that I discovered is that the reason why my body went into such a shock that it seemed that it couldn't cope is because it was telling me something was wrong. I was living a lie. I wasn't who I was supposed to be. What I realized was I become the person through experience. Life just happens. And so therefore you grow into this being that you've become. You've collected a lot of pain along the way. Awakening is when you realize that you've collected a lot of pain. And so inside of you, there's pain and it hurts. Having a conversation with oneself was the best thing that I could ever do. I tried to find help everywhere, but no one could explain what it was that I was going through. I didn't know what I was going through. But over the time, I discovered that there was a code. And it's called 3 letters and the truth. Body, mind, and energy. I realized that my body was in pain. I realized that my mind was conflicting that body. And so therefore, where was my energy? I had none. All of my energy had completely disappeared. So in your depression, what is the main source that is missing? Is energy. So you should be able to go to the doctors and get a tablet for energy. Give me a tablet to make me feel like I'm alive. Give me a tablet that makes me look at life and think how wonderful it is. But that doesn't exist really. So we have to find that within ourselves. And this is where healing is so important. Now, when you're going through this journey, no one's going to know who you are. You're not going to know who you are. And you will lose friends and family along the way because they don't understand. So you need to find somebody that understands the story. You know, when I speak to people on Skype, they come through to me and they believe that their story is not explainable. But when I listen to the story, I say, yeah, I get that. I understand. No, you're not going crazy. That's exactly what I went through. So therefore, the conversation becomes brilliant because what you're lacking in your awakening is to be able to converse with somebody that can say, yeah, I know exactly what you're going through. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, seeing a lot of spirit. Yeah, I did that too. Yeah, you feel like you want to kill yourself. Yeah, I did that too. Have you lost everything? Yeah, I did that too. Do you feel really bad? Yep, I felt that too. It's so nice to meet somebody that knows and can explain and converse with you. When I've spoken to people, it's about bringing out the master within you. There is a teacher within you, as there is a teacher within me. I connected to that, and it is so much more intelligent than the human being. And through conversing with that inner teacher, intuition, inner teacher, it, as I've called it before, I got in connection with that. And you look at your life and you say, what am I doing? Well, the first thing you need to understand is, what are you thinking? What are you feeling? What do you think about the world? Because if you truly are in the dark night of the soul, then you are here to awaken. Awaken to what? Put it this way. Have you seen the state of the planet? Have you seen the state of human beings and the way that it is controlled? And you wonder why you're awakening? Because one of the things you do awaken to is bullshit. And the other thing that you awaken to is the bullshit of yourself. It's hard to face the truth of yourself. We can blame many people for what's happened in our lives. And we hold that blame. We hold that pain within our body. Healing, awakening is all about getting rid of that stuff. You don't need to carry it anymore. It's like going to school with your rucksack. I watch my grandchildren going to school with their rucksacks on their back. As they get older, them rucksacks are getting heavier because they're piling in more books. That's what your life has felt like. The more you collect experiences, you just keep filling up that rucksack. Talking to somebody that really knows the story that says, let's take that rucksack off. You can't be walking around with that. It's too heavy. Now, you can gain the experience, but what you've collected is the pain. So wisdom is being able to understand the story, but without the pain. How nice is that? So when we look at the awakening, spiritually, we're supposed to be growing. But let's forget the word spiritual for the moment. Let's say evolution. How would you like to evolve as a being that you get to this point when you love who you are, you like who you are, and your body, your mind, and your energy feels at one. It feels contented. You feel that you are in the truth of who you are. That's the process that I discovered. As I said to you many times, how I started off is not who I am now. I didn't learn this stuff in books. This was stuff that I'd learned that was inside of me. So why can't it be inside of you? I ain't no one special other than I'm special to myself. But the world doesn't see me as being special, and I'm not interested in the world as seeing me as special. But what I'm saying is, once you realize that your awakening is for a reason, and you're here to wake up, and I suggest it's all to do with healing, because in my awakening, I was in the material world, depression, came out, saw the world in a completely different way. Didn't like it. Horrible. But am I going to do something about it? That was the difference. And yes, we can. We can all do something about it. Even if you just change something about yourself, you are doing something about it because you do make a difference. There is a process. I call it beamism. Be me for short. Body, mind, energy. Be me is, let's see. We don't know what the be me is in you. I didn't know I was going to become this type of a being. I did not know that I had this information within me. So the human being dies, out comes your true self. And it's that true self, it's the caterpillar in the cocoon into the butterfly. So you become the butterfly, and then that's where you begin your life, and you grow as the butterfly. So healing is about understanding what I'm saying to you. Now, not everyone is going to understand what I'm saying. Only the beings that are really ready to hear my message will get it. They will understand. Human being serves them no more. That's not who they are. That's just an identity that serves no purpose. So what I discovered is the Be Me being actually serves the purpose. Even if it's just for yourself. Even if it's just to feel happy and contented with who you are. You don't have to change the world. But by changing yourself and being happy within yourself, or being creative within yourself, or to think without killing yourself, it's a great feeling. Because the meaning and purpose to life is simple. It's a feeling. So when I talk about what is spirituality, I want to understand spirituality simply. How does it work for me? I don't have time to go and sit in Buddhist temples. I haven't got time to learn an Indian language. I don't have time for that. I should have something within me that can secure me to wake up and say, do you know what? I get it. I understand my story and I understand me. Now that is enlightenment. At the moment, I'm offering out a Skype. I'm doing teachings, so it's not always about your complaint. So it's all about whiteboard. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to show you what was given to me. It's very difficult for me to do this on YouTube. It has to be interaction. So if you want to interact with me, and I will teach you the code, the new compass, how to access your inner teacher, how to change your mind, how to understand your emotions, and how to find the Be Me within you. It's a great way to be, and it works. So if you really are in the awakening process and you're finding yourself wanting to be this different being, then send me an email and I shall send you the details and the pricings of how we can make that happen, and I will share with you what got me through, so you too can become the Be Me that you were meant to be, and not the human being that has crippled you throughout your life. My name is Trevor, and I'll see you on the other side.